Hello, lovely people. I'm Shaq, and welcome. I am working on decorating honey pots, and I have some sprig molds that we purchased of bees, and I am trying to decide which bee. This is my last one for today. I've already done 3 of them, and just working out what kind of pattern I'm trying to do on here. And I just put a little clay in here. I also have a mark on the pot I want to cover with the bee. So I'm trying to cover up that, and then I think what I'm going to do is I did one with a flower. I think I'm going to do another one with a flower and this bee. Scraping off the excess clay. These are really low profile bees. And so I take the clump of clay and just press it against the clay that's in the mold, and out pops the bee, and then I got to carefully get it off this clump of clay. So the idea being, don't press the clay into it to remove it from the mold too heavily. Don't press too heavily. Scritch up the back. Find that spot I was trying to cover. And then I have to scritch up the pot, but it helps if I give myself a little outline. This is really hard to show you with the bee on there, but you see the mark I'm trying to cover. So here's the scritching with the magic water applied to it. Carefully picking up the bee. And I'm thinking that maybe I should have done the flower first, but you know, we're here. And I just pat it on there. And we have a bee. Seeing the splatter marks from the magic water. I'll have to clean that up. But I just pat it on there and then clean up around the edge. And I think I'm going to move on to the flower. So I can get that done and come back to this after it's set up a little bit. So I'm going to fill this space right here with flower. So with the a little bit of just a scritchy tool, put the center of the flower, and then petals. That's the start. Looks like a rabbit. I don't know if you find it easier to rotate items when you're drawing, but it certainly makes this easier. And there are some lines that Joey put in around the top. Now that I've got it upside down, these lines here, and I just pretend like they're not there. So with a soft bristled brush, we get rid of all the little things that have scraped out, all the little boogers. There is the sketch. And now I am going to take a type of wire tool and make it more the impression deeper. And my petals and stuff are very irregular. Kind of show you as I go. Sometimes I don't follow it exactly, because you can kind of rub out the lines that you sketched with. And there are hard spots that you can trip on with your tool that'll kind of create a stutter. So if I'm running into a stutter, I might change a direction, not fight it. And I'm trying to decide whether to outline. I don't think I want to outline the center. I want to use another tool to make little texture marks. First, I'm going to clean this up a little. So this is where we're at right now. And I am going to use a tool that has disappeared. I put it in here upside down. That's why I couldn't see it. So it has a circle, an indent into it. And it makes it to where you can get little round circle marks. And I'll go through and put the circles side by side, and then go back after I've got the space filled and do some overlap. So that's what is the first round. And I'm going to give it more texture. Now, I could leave it there. It would be totally acceptable to leave it there. I am going to go over it, though. I think it gives it a little more of a sunflower feel, maybe. Okay. And then, where is that tool? Yeah, that one. We're gonna scoop out some more detail on the petals. Okay, I feel like there's, let's see how that went. There's some of these, well, maybe it looks fine. I don't know. So now I got to clean up around my bee. And this is a wooden tool. I also have a plastic one that's very similar. I just kind of smooth around the edge. Now the plastic one has a finer tip, so I might have to switch. It's a lot of just going around and around, making sure that you've got it clean. And I try to pull the texture out a little bit because you'll end up with this halo around your applied piece, and you kind of want to take, or I like to remove of that halo if I can. Sometimes it just won't be removed. This one's looking pretty good, but we don't have the splatter mark anymore. And when it's set up a little better, you take this brush and go back over it. So stick around. I'm sure I'm gonna show you something else. Okay, I went and had some lunch and found out that I had to make some gnomes on mugs. So I have about 6 mugs, and I figured I'd just take you along while I did one of them. I think I've done that before on here, but you know, it never hurts to do it again, right? I think on this one I'm going to do something a little special. I do this like once in every 6 or once in every dozen mugs, I guess, of gnome mugs. Excuse me, my little frog in my throat. So I've got a bit here to make legs, and I'm going to put the camera down a little bit, I think. So I apologize for my hand. So that you, can you see the handle there? I'm going to take the legs, stretch them up, put some magic water on, set them on here. See, we got 2 little legs. And back here on the back side, I can get it smooth because it isn't quite right. I am going to give him a bottom. Like I said, it's a little rough back here when I bent it around into a U. Sometimes that happens. So we gotta squish it kind of back together. I'm trying to remember what my preferred tool for that is. I think we'll try that one. So, when the pottery business was Darby's, called Laughing Gnome, Darby had his little tongue-in-cheek joke about naked pottery. That's, you know, basically pottery without any glaze. And it's the specialty of the brand. And so his gnome in his logo was naked. He got a big kick out of that. So kind of an homage to his naked pottery gnome. I'll turn it around and show you here in a minute. But first, we got to give him enough of a top, you know, beard and hat to be a proper gnome. Can't forget the hat. Gotta have the hat. That's like signature of the gnome, right? We stick just about any color on it too. I'm gonna stick it in the magic water. Scritch, scritch all in one step. Now I feel like it doesn't have quite enough. Don't want our gnome losing his body. Okay. Squidge him on there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And you can see he has a little bottom. I don't think this is the tool I've been using, but we're going to make use of it. So I turn and put a line around for the demarcation of his hat, which I put him pretty close to the mug here. It's making it a little challenging. And then we put in the beard. And then I'm going to scritch for his nose, which I already wound up a nose. Got to get the magic water in there. Noses are one of those things that it's hard to get it in place and have it stay. So they will frequently fall off. Arthur will sometimes glue them back on, sometimes he won't, and it'll end up, I think that I threw a gnome out in the driveway whose nose fell off. Anyway, there we go. We've got a gnome on the handle. With his little bottom showing. I hope you have a delightful day and a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.